Hey guys, my name is Ryan and welcome to Overwatch Central. So much like a lot of people, I've been looking at Brigitta with fond eyes. Simply because I want to know where she stands in the game and I really want to play her a lot more, but trying to work out where she's most effective has been quite difficult so far. Is she a main support? Is she a flex support? Is she a tank of sorts? Like, how should she be played? Well, we've heard the word triple support been used quite a lot, but I've always kind of flippantly dismissed it a little bit because I didn't think it would be quite effective. Well, on screen now is some actual pro gameplay using Brigitta in a triple support setup, and that's predominantly where she's been used. So we're going to go over where she's effective, how she's effective, and how you can implement the same sort of things into your own games. And this comes from the ESL Go for EU tournament number 98, which was casted by the Caster's Nest, so big shout out to them and Hammerkick for letting us use this footage and looking over how Brigitta's been used in this lineup. So as you can see, both teams in the top are running Brigitta and in fairly similar composition. See, Dopamine are running a double tank, 1 DPS triple support lineup with Lucio, Zenyatta and Brigitta being the supports, whereas Wizard Pugs are running a similar sort of thing but with triple tank, Reinhardt, D.Va and Zarya alongside triple supports of Moira, Lucio and Brigitta. So the triple tank Moira is fairly straightforward. Moira can provide a lot of healing to these tanks and it's basically more of a quad tank triple tank lineup, and that's where Brigitta is kind of going to get used more in these kind of modes. See, we're going to highlight 2 map rounds at least, and one of them is going to be on Nepal Village as we're seeing, which is notable for running the triple or quad tank lineups in the pro scene nowadays. We'll also be looking at Oasis University for a similar thing, and it's just very interesting to watch this strategy in place. See, there's a lot of concern around Brigitta and her actual healing output, and I always felt that running triple support meant that you would lack another tank or a lot of damage, and seemingly that's not really the case much here. It basically just allows certain characters to out-sustain a lot that's going on, and this is highlighted certainly more in the University game that we're going to highlight next. But the main thing that I want to take away from this is it's only used on these maps where tanks are pretty prominent. So University on Oasis, Village on Nepal, Control Center Lijiang Tower, that kind of stuff, those kind of areas where tanks are quite strong. Though that may be 2CP as well. I feel like that'd be a really solid strategy to run actually. Trying to attack on some 2CP maps with a multitude of tanks and supports might be quite good. But this also does concern me to an extent, because can Brigitta be a main off-flex support in her lineup? Can you run 2 supports and still have the optimal healing output that you can possibly get when you have these heroes? We know that we're going to run into a lot of Brigitta players on the live servers, but not all of the games are going to be on University, not all of the games are going to be on Nepal Village. Some of them are going to be on King's Row and Lumbani where Brigitta's not going to be good. So if somebody insta-locks in this hero, this new hero, what do you play? Do you play triple supports or like just the 2 supports? Kind of runs into a similar problem that you have with a Symmetra. If you have a Symmetra defending on Temple of Anubis for the teleporter and all that stuff, do you run another support or another 2? And those kind of questions trying to work out your composition can lead to some pretty bad mistakes coming out of your side. So Brigitta, I feel, is going to cause a lot more issues because of this. But it is really interesting to see that triple support is actually becoming a strategy and somewhat of a meta as well. And it's interesting to see it work here with Dopamine just being able to aggressively push. But the ability for Brigitta to be constantly putting out damage, and because of that healing, allows Zarya to stay in the fight a lot more, Reinhardt to stay in the fight a lot more, and it allows them to get their ultimates at such an insane rate as well. But because you have those other supports on your lineup with the Zenyatta and the Lucio, both of which have 2 supporting ultimates, which we've seen being used here actually, it means that Brigitta doesn't need to worry about those times where she's not actually using her passive, where she's not actively doing healing because she's out of a fight, she's waiting for the team to engage on her. It allows Brigitta to move and make more space for herself when she knows that Zenyatta and Lucio also are helping her with supporting her team. And that's the main concern around Brigitta, right? If you're running just the 2 supports, she will not be actively outputting any form of healing in some situations, so it puts a lot of pressure on the other support. So here she's been used more as utility, and it's interesting to see how effective it can be at the highest tiers, with both teams running it and finding effective use. So no doubt Brigitta is going to be viable in the highest tiers in the pro scene. She's going to be played a lot in ranked, let's be frank. People are absolutely loving her design, but triple support is something that I never really expected to see, or at least in this fashion. So I just wanted to sort of highlight this gameplay, really show you how this composition has been used, that it exists and it has effective use as well, to just go, it might be worth trying out in your own games. So triple support could be a thing with Brigitta. That could be a new meta on these closed off maps that we'll be seeing as you've been seeing on screen with this video, and it might be something that we see more in the future as time goes on. But do let us know what you think of all of this, whether you'd like to see a triple support meta or whether you feel it's kind of a bit weird and maybe shouldn't be run, or whether Brigitta isn't going to be that useful at all. Do let us know in the comments below, and until next time, take care. We'll see you then.